Partner poachers or mate poachers are people who go deliberately for people in marriages or long-term relationships. Every time I make a video like this, people talk about they do it because it's easier. No. I want to clarify something major wrong with people who say this. It is not easier to take a married person. People do this because they have a superiority complex, usually have NPD or some kind of cluster B personality disorder. They like the more challenging person. It makes them feel superior to the person they're taking the partner from, and they want the challenge. It's not easier to take a married person. It is far harder. Now, I will say this. One thing about somebody who's been married for 10 plus years, they don't recognize the manipulation tactics used, because if they're married to a halfway decent person, they're not going to know what love bombing is. They're not going to know what gaslighting is. They're not going to know what transhypnosis, which is where they interject thoughts into your head. You feel like this. I know you do. Like, they'll say things that they literally put thoughts in your head to brainwash you. Somebody in a long-term relationship is not going to recognize these grooming tactics. So it does make them easier in that sense, because people who are in the dating market have probably dated like somebody like that in the last 5-10 years. But somebody who's married hasn't. So in that sense, they are more gullible, but a married person is much harder to steal, to poach. And this is what makes them desirable. They are competing with the wife who was the prize, especially if the wife has a good life. There's a good home. She's a stay-at-home mom. She doesn't have to work only part-time, and he takes care of her. When they see that, it triggers, and I'm just using this as a mistress, but it happens with men too. And they see that and they go for it and they want what they have. It's not because they're only competing with one person, so it's easier. That ain't it. It's because they're competing with somebody they believe is a prize. And if they can prove that they're better than them by getting somebody to leave them, then they feel they've won. It's because they have deep, low self-esteems. That's true. Low empathy, also true. But it ain't because it's easy. On the contrary, they do this because it's harder, and they feel more validated when they win.